Number one, the player intros.
Yeah.
Full freaking Texas. We had lassos, I think like 6 lassoers, just whipping that rope in circles.
You mean Cowboys?
Yeah, outside the dugout, and like the players would run up the dugout, and they're just kind of whipping that rope
and then
around.
they would hand a cowboy hat
To, like, a
a
little
kid.
kid. Yeah.
This has obviously been the whole week, right? We had the draft at the Cowtown Coliseum. They've been leaning into it. You know, leading up to the event when you would have these either photoshopped or real photo shoots of players with no cowboy backgrounds in cowboy hats. But most of the players totally bought in. They were like, yes, this is what we are doing. Even Rob Manfred, who spoke earlier today, talked about how at the draft correctly, he liked that there was a theme. And clearly that was something that they appreciated being able to lean into all week. And it's fine. I mean, obviously it was goofy at times. It was corny at times. But why not?
Make it campy. It's a fake game. It's an exhibition game. It doesn't matter. Just like
100%.
I appreciated that they really leaned in. And
it was good.
I'll say this as a Northerner who really has not interacted with cowboy hats a lot.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good way to figure out who has aura and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Because a cowboy hat either works on someone's head or it doesn't work on someone's head.
And all week there were just so many people trying to pull it off, and just immediately you're
like, that looks stupid.
Like, nope. Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
Yo, that guy got it. So that was kind of the subplot, I would say, of All-Star Week. But anyway, let's get to the actual action. As you mentioned, the intros are always pretty fun. But let's get to the game. What's the first moment of the game you want to talk about?
My sheet says Paul Skenes.
Yep, Skenes, yep.
Paul Skenes.
Paul.
Paul Ibanez. Paul Skenes, who started the All-Star Game for the National League after a whole lot of hubbub. Incredibly exciting. He came out and faced Stephen Kwan, got him to fly out,
Yep.
I believe.
Pop out. Stephen Kwan, as I expected, swung at the first pitch. He swung at all 4 pitches from Skenes. He pops out to short.
Gunnar Henderson.
Yep.
Out. Thanks for coming.
Yep. Quick little out there. And then here comes Juan Soto. And Juan Soto had promised that he would get on base so that we could see Skenes versus Judge. However, what people were forgetting is that it's actually even more fun to watch. Like, I was way more excited to watch Juan Soto versus Paul Skenes than Aaron Judge. And so I'm glad that Bruce Bochy gave us that.
But also, it added stakes to it in a fun way.
Sure.
Now, I think that ensuring that you got the Judge-Skenes matchup was probably better. Yep. But to have the idea of everyone in the park being like, Soto has to work this walk because he was going to walk.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to work this walk in order to have Judge face Skenes, and it was great. Now, as is the case with any single inning, Skenes got a lot of soft contact, and Judge grounded out to third on the
first pitch. Yeah.
On the first pitch. But and he didn't strike anybody out, which is kind of weird.
No.
But again, it was the moment we were all waiting for, and it definitely delivered.
Yeah. And he got some swing and misses there. He fooled Soto on a splinker. He blew 100 past Henderson. You had some moments there for sure. But if you were hoping that would be the lasting memory, I'm not sure that was ultimately to be the case. But that's because we had some other fun moments at this one.
Yeah, good news. Very soon after that, Shohei Ohtani cranked one to the freaking moon.
Yeah, Tanner Houck coming in relief. Tanner Houck has clearly established himself as a starter. Earlier in his career, bouncing between the bullpen and the rotation for Boston. Huge season for Tanner Houck. I'm a big fan of this guy. He hung a splitter to the wrong fellow.
2-0 count.
Not what we're looking for, and Shohei did the thing that he does, which is hit the ball over the fence.
Worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yep.
The rest of the All-Star Game, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, because there was certainly one other moment that will stand out. But having Ohtani do the thing here on this stage in front of all these people, like, MLB's got to be absolutely thrilled right now.
Yeah. I mean, again, like he can make people make a big deal. Oh, it's his first one on the National League team, which, Ohtani, he's probably thinking, especially after last year, he was used to winning with the AL, and now he's stuck on this NL team that, last year
can't get it together.
Last year, right, exactly. Last year he loses. Remember last year, come to Seattle. Not a lot of come to Texas chance because he's secured at this point for the long haul in Los Angeles. But anyway, Ohtani homers, awesome. I mean, again, we shouldn't take him for granted, but that was a very impressive swing.
Next moment that kind of stood out was a Juan Soto RBI single, which he like ripped into right center field, and center fielder Teoscar Hernandez just kind of like walked to the ball and like leisurely tossed it in. Soto saw no opportunity.
Yeah.
Hustled to second, hustle double Juan Soto.
There you go. That cuts the lead to 1 for the National League.
And
then Aaron Judge gets out. So Aaron Judge doing nothing in this one. Aaron Judge can't rise to the moment. His clutch numbers continue to plummet.
Not a big game player.
However, you know who is a big game player?
David Fry.
David Fry. We went Soto, Judge, David Fry, pinch hit for Yordan Alvarez. David Fry, also from very close to here, a guy who in high school was not recruited by any school in the state of Texas, to the point where he has to go to Louisiana, Northwestern State, and now 10 years after he first stepped on campus at Northwestern State, here he is, age 28, MLB All-Star, one of the great stories of the season, and he rips the ball into left field to tie the game for the AL.
You know what I liked about that? He wasn't trying to do too much.
No. He swung pretty hard, and he did pull the ball. I feel like he was trying to do a lot.
I think David
and
Fry
it ended up being the right amount.
Well, I was going to say David Fry did the right amount. The next moment that we want to talk about. So this I think was my favorite. Logan Webb's on the mound. He's having a tough inning.
Yes.
He's allowed to hit to Fry. He's allowed to hit to Soto. It's a tie game now.
Yeah.
And Brent Strom, who is the pitching coach for the Arizona Diamondbacks, lumbers his way out of the dugout to talk to Webb, the pitcher for the Giants.
I assumed he was going to pull him.
And I assumed he was going to pull him because it's an all-star game, trying to get everybody innings. But instead, Strom goes out there and delivers just like an old-school, regular mound visit.
Right. Which I don't know if Logan Webb talked about this after the game. He was asked about it. Strom talked about this after the game. This just feels very unique. A genuine, like, let's go out there and calm my guy down.
It's legit if they, like, knew each other, if they were, like, the same team. I don't know how much, like, Strom, the Diamondbacks pitching coach, has interacted with Webb, who's on the Giants. They're in the same division.
Sure.
But, like, this guy's coming out there. I'm like, if you're going to make the trip, like, just yank me. Like, 31 pitches that inning.
Was it really?
When it was all said and done.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah. But this is the best part.
Yeah.
What happens next? Logan Webb locks back in, strikes out Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
Brent Strom, greatest pitching coach of all time.
Give me some advice.
Then we move on to our next big moment, top of the fifth. And I was very much looking forward to watching Mason Miller pitch in this game.
Jordan, who's Mason Miller?
Mason Miller, the A's representative here, a closer who is pretty much the hardest thrower in baseball right now. But his rise from Division III Waynesburg University 6 years ago to Division I Gardner-Webb, third-round pick for the A's a couple years ago. He makes his debut last year. Oh, maybe he can start. And then this year, they were like, hold on a second. This could be very special if we just have him throw the ninth inning. And boy, has it been special. He stayed healthy. He's throwing not just 100, not just 101, not just 102, not just 103. This dude threw a ball 103.6, which registers as 104 miles an hour on the TV broadcast. He has also touched a genuine 104 miles an hour already this season. He made Ketel Marte, I guess, swung at the first pitch. Then he strikes out Ohtani. He strikes out Trey Turner, showing both the fastball and the slider. I don't really know why he came in the fifth. If this was Bruce Bochy trying to get that Miller-Ohtani matchup, hats off to him. But he is, we've seen him. They're great closers. Clase is great also, and he deserved to pitch in this game and close this game out too. Muno's awesome, great closers. Mason Miller right now is the most overpowering pitcher in a single inning that we have. I really do believe that, and I'm glad that he got to show that, because I do think that while people like us have gotten to know him very well as a character in our universe, there were absolutely people in this ballpark tonight that were like, what in the world was that? And I think that's really exciting.
JARREN DURAN, though, he wins All-Star Game MVP, and that's because he cranked a 2-run go-ahead shot in the bottom of the fifth. I'm going to be honest. I didn't see it. I was down in the tunnel.
Wow.
Waiting to talk to another player.
I was like, damn. Jarren Duran got juice.
We were right about Mason Miller.
Yeah. We
were
have been talking about him for a while.
We were very wrong about Jarren Duran, who we
Yeah.
did not think was a good player. He has proved us and a lot of doubters and haters wrong.
I definitely didn't think he was a great player.
I totally agree with you. He was not someone I ever thought was going to win All-Star Game MVP.
Right. I was like, there's a version of this where he can kind of carve out a role. He clearly did that last year. And then this year,
The bat.
I mean, every part of his offensive game, from the base running to the power to the extra base hits, the doubles, the triples, the homers, just sensational all-around outfielder. Center fielder, the defense has improved as well. What a find. Huge part of the Red Sox season. And for him to have that moment, too, was a reminder that, like, yeah, hey, dude, I'm here. I'm one of the best outfielders in baseball. And he's right. He's right. So credit to him. He gets the All-Star Game MVP. And that concluded the scoring for the evening.
And part of the reason that was it for the scoring is because Christopher Sanchez, Phillies left-hander, came in the game and got 2 pitches, 2 outs. Thank you for coming to work. Unbelievable.
That's a nice day at the office.
Yeah, you love to see that. I believe he faced Isaac Paredes of the Rays, got him to roll over to shortstop on a first pitch sinker down the middle of the plate. Then he faced Josh Naylor, threw him a sinker up and in. He grounded that to first base.
And then they pulled him.
Then they pulled him and brought someone else in for the last out. Christopher Sanchez,
yes,
added late to the roster. Unbelievable season for the Southpaw. Makes a trip all the way out to Texas, does all the festivities, goes to the pen.
How does that work?
Throws
like,
2 pitches.
Does that count as he played? I guess, right?
What do you mean, does it count as he played?
No, it counts as he played. I'm saying from a workload standpoint. Like, do we treat that as a different outing than Logan Webb throwing 31 pitches?
Yeah, he warmed up.
Workload,
So yes, he warmed up. But, Jordan,
yes.
Last topic. There were a couple of guys who didn't get in the game. And this is something that I always find funny because of all the bells and whistles that go into this thing. I mean, we're here doing a podcast on the field. Like, this is a big deal. This is a big event.
Yep.
To make the schlep and not get to pitch in the game when you are healthy, able,
and on the roster,
and
on the
roster, and willing to pitch is always very odd.
And there's no way to know, right? It's not like the guys that are on the active roster. Of course, guys are on the inactive, and we know they're not going to pitch. But generally, same thing back to the Mason Miller thing. You don't know. Sometimes the managers will be like, yeah, he's pitching. Sometimes the players will know. Pitchers have told us in the past, like, yeah, I got the 6th. But it's very unpredictable. And so you sort of start to realize over the course of the game, like, ooh, I don't think that guy's going to get in. And we had a few examples of that. So who didn't get into tonight's game?
So the one guy who didn't get in, and it's a good thing he didn't get in, is Clay Holmes, Yankees closer, who was unbelievable in pinstripes for the first 2 months of the season and has been just horrid for about a month and a half.
Including 2 days ago.
Including literally 2 days ago on Sunday when he blew a save against the Orioles in Baltimore.
With some help.
With some help from his defense. And by help, we mean
whatever the opposite of that is. Yep.
The idea of Clay Holmes coming into this game and pitching and doing poorly would have been uncomfortable for everybody involved. As much as some masochistic Yankees fans maybe wanted to see that.
No. I think it seemed like he was probably not going to pitch. However, then you had an opposite situation. You have Andres Munoz. Andres Munoz, Mariners closer, obviously one of my favorites, a guy who was added late as a replacement, replacing his teammate Logan Gilbert, who pitched on Sunday, so he was not going to be able to be on the active roster. They were both here in Texas. Andres Munoz's family, his 2 brothers, drove hours and hours from their homes.
Do you know how many hours?
20 plus?
27 hours.
They drove from Mexico to be here, hoping to see Andres Munoz pitch at the end of the game.
Sorry, buddy.
Ultimately,
sorry, pal.
Ultimately, they were not able to do that as Clase A is too good. And he did not choke away the 9th and give us extra innings for Andres Munoz to pitch. Listen, I know, having talked to the Mariners, Andres Munoz still had a great time.
Yeah.
I wish his family got to see him pitch, and he is a delight, but that was unfortunate.
He should just go throw a pen in the parking lot. You
I'd
guys drove all this way to see me pitch.
I would go watch that. Oh, my gosh.
I would honestly rather watch Andres Munoz throw 101 in a parking lot than in a baseball stadium. I've seen the latter many times.
That's true.
I've never seen triple digits in a parking lot. That's the All-Star Game this year.